Good morning, folks. Thanks so much for clicking your way to myhighplains.com. Meteorologist Nick Lilja here, taking another look at our weather for the next couple of days because it is getting rather interesting. Like I said all morning on Today in Amarillo, thank goodness it's not May and it's actually October, because this setup would be a little more dangerous if we were in the spring rather than in the fall. So what we're taking a look at right now is Thursday, where there is a slim to low threat that we do look at a little bit of severe weather, and it does kind of drag from Clovis back through Hereford, even a little bit in here to Amarillo, and points off to the east. A slim threat pretty much everywhere you go, save some of our northwestern counties. Now, we're not expecting a widespread thunderstorm or severe weather event on Thursday, but there is that opportunity that should a storm fire or initiate in one of these areas, it does have, as I step out of the way here, a 2 to 10% probability that it does turn severe. Now, as we move into Friday, it gets much more interesting. Now, again, like I was saying, if this happened in May, it would be a much more dangerous scenario, but right now it looks like a slim to low to medium to even a high threat for some severe weather, which means anywhere from a 2 to 25% chance that a storm, if it does initiate or fire in one of these particular areas, it will turn severe. And the main bulk of the severe action, I think, will be down just off to the southwest of town and then off in some of our northeastern counties. At least that's the areas right now as we look at all the models that are the most favorable for severe weather development. But of course, you're also looking at a medium to low to slim pretty much everywhere you go. So keep this in mind if you do have Friday afternoon or evening plans, as a bulk of the action will happen after about 2 o'clock on Friday. What we're watching for, well, we're going to watch out for winds in excess of 50 miles an hour, hail sizes in excess of 1 inch. Always watch out for cloud-to-ground lightning. And in this particular event, and especially on Friday, we can't rule out the possibility for some isolated tornadoes. Now, again, as we're watching this over the next couple of days, we are catching a lot of the necessary ingredients, but the one most important one, which we might be missing out on, is the sun. As this next upper level low cruises our direction, we just might be too cloudy to get all of this going, which would be good for us because it means just as much rain, just no threat of, well, all this severe weather. But we are watching it over the next couple of days. Taking a look at the setup, basically what we're looking at is on a Wednesday. This is about as rudimentary a graphic as I can make, I think. But I think it spells everything out pretty well. The setup, this is as of Wednesday at 5 o'clock, and this is after taking a look at about a dozen of the weather models that I do look at in the morning. What we're looking at is overnight tonight and into Thursday, maybe a little pocket of energy down here. We might produce a couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm out of this guy. It's going to cruise off to the northeast. Places like Memphis, back toward Clarendon, Shamrock, just heads up overnight. You might catch a rain shower, a couple rumbles of thunder as well. Now, as we head into Thursday, all the models are suggesting by about noon, well down toward Clovis, we'll start to pick up a little bit of the thunderstorm activity. And again, a bulk of the energy will be just off to the south of town by about 5 o'clock or so. I think that that's when we'll start to see maybe a couple of showers and thunderstorms spark up. Now, again, think back to the graphic I just showed about where the severe weather potential is, and that is in some of our southwestern counties. And on a line, as we move back off to the northeast, which is exactly where this little piece of energy is moving, as we move through the day and into the evening on Thursday. Now, we're not looking at a severe weather event on Thursday necessarily. I think a lot of this is going to be rather isolated, but nevertheless, so we are looking at that possibility. And then as we head into Friday morning, with what we like to call the low-level jet kicking in, basically all that is an influx of moisture, that's what we'll call it, and it gives us more fuel for a couple of more thunderstorms. And I think just off to the south of I-40 and then in the mountains of New Mexico, we are looking at a brief chance for some showers and thunderstorms early on Friday morning, and I think these will dissipate as we get towards sunrise and kind of fall apart. Now, as we head into the afternoon on Friday, that's when it looks like we're going to have the opportunity for a couple of supercells to fire up, and as it looks right now, the bulk of the firing will be right around the Amarillo area. With that being said, you'll notice, as usual, we have the little bubbles surrounding Amarillo, but don't let your guard down just because these dots are all around Amarillo and not right on top of us. As we move through the afternoon, I think a lot of these guys will fire mainly in some of our southwestern counties and propagate their way off to the north and east. At the same time, we will fire up a line of showers and thunderstorms out here in parts of New Mexico that will eventually press their way across the high plains. Now, this is as of 9 o'clock, so if you're out watching an area football game across the high plains on Friday night, is take an umbrella and make sure you have a plan should one of these thunderstorms make it into your neck of the woods. As we go into the overnight hours, all of these press off to the northeast and eventually fall apart as that line of showers and thunderstorms moves its way through Amarillo and continues off to the east and is out of our neck of the woods by 7 a.m., which is great if you're headed down to Canyon for the WT Homecoming Parade. We should be all clear by that point in time as it continues to press on out of here. And by Sunday at 11 a.m., everyone's pretty much in the clear. Now, that's taking a look at a dozen of the weather models. What about our in-house model? Taking a look at our FutureSky forecast, it does suggest that, we're nice and clear for today. Maybe a couple of showers and thunderstorms popping up in some of our northern counties, it suggests, by Thursday night, but until then, all clear. And then as we head into the overnight hours, it's suggesting maybe a couple of showers in some of our eastern counties and maybe one or two back here in some of our southwestern counties. But it too is painting in the opportunity as we head towards sunrise on Friday for a lot in the way of rain, especially right along the I-40 corridor here with that low-level jet kicking, that influx of moisture overnight. And then as we head through the day, it's suggesting a big batch of showers moves off to the northeast, maybe a couple fire up right around Amarillo, push off to the northeast, and then a couple more later in the afternoon push off to the northeast. But you'll notice, for the most part, here in town by dinner time, we're nice and clear here in town. And here's that line of storms that's going to fire up on the lee side of the Rockies and press across the high plains as we move through the afternoon. So there's the breakdown for the next couple of days. As you take a look at the week ahead, you'll notice that after Thursday and Friday, as we're looking at this event, cold front sweeps on through, we clear things out for the rest of the week. So just a reminder, definitely have a plan if you are going to go out to an area football game on Friday night, and make sure you keep it tuned to KAMR, or sister station KCIT, or right here on myhighplains.com, as we will have updates for you as we continue through the rest of the week and head in to your Friday. And again, thanks so much for clicking your way to myhighplains.com.